Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
Dungeons & Dragons.
Yep. As you all take a moment to kind of process this sudden occurrence, Krieg's eye starts back and forth. Shit. And I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, we're just fucking
Okay, Yasha, Veth, Caduceus.
If there's an extra fold,
Fold taken.
Oh, we're gonna die.
And you don't know how far it goes that way.
Okay, but we can see light at the end of the tunnel. You said we saw light.
A very,
like
a very faint bit of blue light.
Okay. I'm going to then look over at Caleb. Say, want to take a trip?
Oh.
I'm just going to grab his arm and Dimension Door us.
You're going to Dimension Door?
I'm going to Dimension Door me and Caleb towards the blue light.
Okay. You reach over and grab Caleb, and
Oh, that's good.
vanish.
So he said, oh, here, and when they reappear, he's going to say, yeah.
You are now standing in the middle of a somewhat different arrangement of a familiar threshold vault. Now you look up, and you see about 25 feet up in the air, embedded in the ceiling, you see the massive, somewhat circular threshold crest, giving that dull, familiar bluish glow.
I just look at Caleb and say, we have to get it out.
Okay.
well, I'm gonna fucking rage for starters. Okay, so I'm gonna start making my way over to.
Back up. And I just sort of nudge back and get out from under it, if we're under it. And I draw the dust on my arm, and I cast Disintegrate all along the lining, holding the gem in place.
Cool.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
As you go ahead and hit the side of the stone, you watch as you're used to seeing stone just turn to dust. Instead, you see flesh wither black. The ceiling itself suddenly curling like a wound that immediately festers. And you can see the stone and the room around you begins to like twitch and shift in pain. The stone, you see as part of it begins to fall loose. Tendrils like begin to try and grab around it like little tethers, and it's now dangling and swinging about 5 feet below the opening, and you see it's trying to pull it back up, but it's much looser than it was.
Okay.
Grab that dingleberry.
That's exactly what
It's on by maybe 2 hairs.
Kree's turn.
Final.
I know. Kree's like, too late, I think. Kind of looks back over the shoulder, kind of counting and noticing the two that vanished. Yasha, you do get an attack opportunity, as Kree is going to go ahead and attempt to step away. Kree, after gets hit by you, gets knocked to one knee and sees that running is not an option. Takes the red cloak and wraps it around herself to go ahead.
Stay.
and
Counterspell.
With that, the cloak wraps around and Kree exhales as you see this flash of arcane energy come off of this cape and then dissipate like mist.
Oh, we want you to stay.
Beauregard and Caleb, you hear Kree's voice, not speaking to you, but you pick up on it like a wayward radio signal. Oh my God, help me, please. That's all you hear.
Go, shit!
No.
Caleb just says, we need to pick up the pace right now.
All right, that's Kree's turn.
Don't pull him out!
This is about to go very poorly in about
Jester, you're up.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna polymorph myself into a giant ape.
All right.
Jester pleb. No, that's not right. Jester. I'm not sure.
Just tape.
Giant blue ape.
Japester.
And I'm just gonna reach up and grab it and pull it down with all my strength that I have and try to yank it out of its socket.
As you reach up and grab it, you're still holding on to it and dangling, and some tethers pull taut, and you see one larger, thick tentacle kind of like and grab it, and it's now kind of your weight versus the stone and these tendrils, and it continues to lift up as you lose your grip. Veth, your turn.
I snap my fingers.
What's that do?
You'll see. There's a little shimmer on Kree, so
Oh my god!
You'll see.
take
He's turned Caduceus into a jazz man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd the question mark come from? Don't
Oh,
let the
okay.
question
I mean,
mark invade you.
all right. I'm gonna take a swing.
Okay.
Over a new leaf, Yasha.
Oh, don't. Okay. That definitely didn't hit.
That's
because
all
that was
house
two.
around her
I'm
neck.
excited about not hitting her.
to die.
Okay.
She's calling Lucian.
Second hit.
She has a family.
God
For all we
dang
know,
it.
Bo and Caleb are about to get turned on.
Yes, I'm serious. That does 18.
18 just misses.
She donates
No.
most of her
on.
profits to charity.
19.
19 just hits. Yes! All right, so do your damage. All sixes.
Holding on to and just be dangling off.
This is going to be really, really
Because
dark.
of your shimmer?
Yeah.
Multiply it by 5.
I'm pulling out a calculator. Shut up. What's the total?
39 points of slashing damage, which, thanks to Caduceus, becomes instead 78 points of slashing damage.
When did you get that trick?
I've had that trick
He's used
all
it,
along.
He's used it a number of times, yeah.
It's just, yeah, I can.
It's situational.
Every
for
now
setting
and
it
then
up,
I
yeah.
can double the damage on
As she
something.
started to try to disappear, I want to step on her cloak, yank her back, and
So you yank her back and pull her onto your sword?
yeah.
All right. As she goes to try and run and bolt, you just grab, yank it back, and pull her all the way to the hilt. The blade is now sticking fully through Kree's chest. Just coughs this big spatter of blood. You can feel the body going limp against the blade. It goes, Lucian. You both hear in your mind, you've done well. But I need you to hold them off a little longer. I'm not done. I'm not ready yet. Become a vessel for the pattern and show them the way. In the darkness of this chamber, there's suddenly a dull red glow in your proximity as the 5 eyes that mark Kree's body begin to glow simultaneously. I got 3. Yasha, as you're kind of holding there, you look and you feel Kree's body begin to shake. Just shake violently, and you have
Fuck. I'm gonna just, with the bottom of my boot, push her off my blade.
Okay. You go ahead and shunt the body off of the blade. It falls to the ground, and with a limpness that a corpse would, and the life has been drawn out, but when the body impacts, there's tension in the muscles, and you can see now Kree just shaking, convulsing, the eyes getting brighter and brighter, until suddenly the back of her shoulders split. Bone and flesh begins to spit out and grow. This horrible, mangled version of what once was Kree is now this ever-swelling monstrosity of flesh, teeth, and eyes. What? You watch as parts of the ground begin to expand and seem to almost be feeding to the body as it gets larger and larger.
Not part of the plan, not part of the plan, not part of the plan.
Oh no. It's so shiny.
Excuse you!
Still hexed.
Okay!
And it can't tell a lie.
We're in a soft serve ice
Give you a
cream.
nice front view of it.
Meow.
Oh, poor Kree.
Yasha's go, or you have another attack, right?
Okay. No, the first
Oh, sorry, the first one missed. You're right.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay put? Because you're raging. Caleb, you're up.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Would I be able to climb up my giant blue friend and get within touching range of this thing? Is it that high up, or is it out of, if I were to get to the top of her?
If you were to get to the top of her, you could probably reach it.
Yeah.
You just have to climb your friend.
Would that be my action?
I would say it's.
I don't know. Look at that. Look
Here's the
Laura,
thing.
Matt. I don't know.
She was using her turn to pull it down as opposed to helping you up.
Right.
So you have to actually physically climb it.
No, I want to so bad, but instead, I share an earnest look with my giant blue friend, and I laugh a little bit, and I pull the catmint out of my pocket, crush it, and I send Cat's eye off. Frumpkin appears for a second, gone. Giant claw grabs the gem and pulls.
Oh, what'd you get?
2, so it's a 10 total.
It's not enough.
Dang it!
As the claw grabs it, you see it pulling.
Should've tried.
The central tether is very strong, and you see it. It's being pulled back up into it. And what's disturbing is the stone circle that's built for its space seems to be like reaching almost in like a faint pucker towards it. Like it's waiting. It's wanting to accept the stone back into its vacuous space.
Completely shook by this, I'm gonna do a patient defense and just go on guard.
Okay. You shake off the patterns you're seeing, and you kind of hold back, and they're weirdly familiar
From like shit that I've seen in dreams.
and read in books.
In read in books.
That finishes your turn? All right, Caduceus, you're up. Unless you want to move.
What books you be reading?
I don't know. Tusk Love gets weird at the end. that weird shit, yeah.
The gem has now been drawn back up into the space, and you get this. You get the sense you have one more shot at this before it now has sensed danger around it. You guys managed to pull it partially free, and it's been trying to recover it. Now that it's trying to withdraw it, this may be your last chance before it just.
I'm gonna pick up Caleb and lift him up so he can touch it.
Okay, so you're just using your turn.
Using my turn to
No
try
rolls needed. You go ahead and take Caleb and hold him aloft, which gets him to about a little over 20 feet. The stone now, you'd see it like being slowly sunken back into the ceiling, and it will be. This is your last shot, so it'll be out of touch range after your turn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Another snap.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's
gone.
Jazzman again.
Jazzmanning this.
I will fire my crossbow bolt.
This over.
40 points of damage.
Doubled to 80 because of Caduceus. How do you want to do this?
Oh man! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm aiming. I can't figure out what's a good part. I want to get to the undercarriage, so I'm gonna try to like skip it, like skip the bolt off the flesh puddle and up.
And as it begins to burrow in, as you skip downward, you watch as one of the arms pulls up and exposes the Kree head that's still kind of like screaming inside in the middle of the twisting skin, and it hits right in the center of the head, at which point the body just immediately liquefies onto the ground.
Ew, liquid flesh.
Are there any immediate vials of blood in the liquid flesh stuff? Start grabbing, grab the stuff.
I better just
get a
grab
little
whatever's in there.
You're a big blue gorilla, right?
I'm a big blue ape.
Jeepster.
Get that blue ape.
There's where you are. Big old ape right there.
Oh, we're in the midst of all this lava?
Just as I.
That is not lava.
Flesh lava.
Yeah.
The flesh is lava.
That scoop.
The flesh is lava is the worst game.
The floor is lava is one thing. The floor is flesh is fucking another.
Way to die. So this is a 2-part plan. As Jape still holds me up first, I use a bonus action to have Cat's ire yank it one last time, just as the bonus action.
Alrighty. Drifting upward, we'll say.
Dope minute.
You're like the Bob's Big Boy.
Did you order? Did you order a wizard, sir? Wizard? Wizard?
We'll say right there.
The second thing I'm gonna do is smash a bag of gold dust across it, and before it goes all the way in, cast immovable object on the gem.
As all the tendrils tighten in pull, the threshold crest becomes a fixed point in space and time. And you watch as the tendrils are attempting to kind of pull and pull, and as it extends, it's unable to grasp the stone. It's just stuck just beyond its ability to connect.
Good job.
Say, ha ha, go to hell, dream people, and I will use my movement to turn and curl like a small baby monkey into the grip of Mama Monkey.
Okay.
Tick.
Yeah, start looking for that.
Probably lots of things.
Got this.
What's that? What's that?
I don't know. It was around her neck, but obviously had a place of pride. So important, maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Good.
All right. I'll hold on to it. I'll tie it kind of wrap it around my hand so I have it. Palm it.
Go see what's
Yeah,
going
we
on
should
in
go.
Well, I'm already making my way into the.
Make my way.
Thank you.
How are your eyes, Bo? Same? Normal?
How are they?
Seems normal.
Seems okay.
Okay.
I was getting.
Though, as you hear Veth saying this, and you kind of look at yourself and you're fine, you look up at Veth, and as Veth's kind of looking at you with intent, you see a red eye in the center of Veth's forehead.
No way. For real?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
Does anybody else have one?
I started looking.
Yasha? I lift up the back of Yasha's shirt. Look on her back.
Yasha's
I just get
fine.
completely naked.
Whoa.
Yasha's fine.
Heavy metal.
You find in the center of the left palm a red eye.
I touch Veth's forehead.
I need you both to no.
Hello. I'm Ford now.
Essek? Can I give you a quick look-see? Because I think you failed a wisdom saving throw at one point.
Okay. Essek looks at his hands. I think I'm fine.
Okay. Well,
Want to put on some clothes there, Yasha?
no.
He pulls up kind of the sleeves on his arm. Nothing there, and he turns around and kind of pulls back the mantle, and on the right shoulder blade, you see a red eye.
So we kind of joined you in your things. How's that going?
Jester, I tap her cheek. You can put me down, thank you.
Are we okay with this, or do we want to try and...
No, this is a stopgap measure. We've got about 59 minutes left where that is held in place before the ceiling starts to suck it back in.
We are part of the Nonagon now.
So the
Sorry,
claw is
that
probably
happens.
gone now.
I'm going to do a quick...
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick
Sorry,
eyeball
only a
check.
minute.
Yeah, Caduceus.
Quick eyeball check.
Arrow, I look under Caduceus' shirt in the back as well.
Caduceus, right in the center of the clavicle. On the chest, there is a red eye.
Who's the only one that doesn't have one?
Jester.
Yasha.
And Yasha.
Jester and Yasha. Okay.
What are you going to try?
Casting Blight at 5th level.
But the necrotic damage that you deal causes that flesh all at once to blacken and curl backward. You almost, if it could make a sound, you could almost imagine a high-pitched screech as that portion of the ceiling goes from like an extension into a withdrawing entity that feels horrible pain as black, ruined, necrotic flesh kind of drops from the ceiling, leaving about a 5-foot gap from the top of where it was into where the stone currently
I
is.
speak the words, einen Moment.
Oh, God.
It drops from the ceiling, impacts and sigil on the floor.
I'm gonna run it up to outside of this chamber and put it in the hallway.
Baller.
What were some of the powers that you guys have? True sight and...
Dark vision.
And
sending
telepathy.
telepathic messages.
Okay, I'm gonna try to send a message to everybody else. Woodchuck to Gray Squirrel. Come in, Gray Squirrel. Woodchuck here.
Those of you with eyes hear Veth's voice.
Oh my God.
That's unpleasant.
But
Yasha, you heard it too, right?
did Jester hear it?
We have
I
a
didn't hear.
super psychic connection.
I didn't. I think it's just the flesh is loud in here. I don't know. I didn't hear.
Maybe this blocks it.
It could.
No, we want to try to really rest if we can somewhere, so presumably you could restore your reserves if we did.
Gonna have to. We are broken.
There was a device in Aeor that we had come across that you had utilized. Right.
Oh, the regeneration capsule.
Do we still have that piece?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Bing.
It's worth a shot, but if we would be able to reenact that skip in time forward.
In like a bubble? What if, like, could you put up the dome and we use the... Is that stupid?
No.
I don't know how this shit works. Oh my God.
Crush it inside of the dome.
Or at least focus what powers I have left and any you have to give into it together.
Be fully restored in a matter of minutes.
Seconds, if successful.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Or it could destroy and unravel time entirely in ways that we have not seen.
Are we all in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send it.
yes.
Use the tuning fork, and I'm gonna send that piece of rock to the fireplane.
And as Caduceus strikes the fork upon it and it begins to vibrate, you see that shield begin to turn orange brighter and brighter, almost like it becomes luminescent, like it is heated to a bright orange-red iron-like coloration before it is gone.
Get wrecked. Oh my God.
Here we go. I'm going to sit down now.
Great, great.
Jump, relatively speaking.
Correct.
We're not going to go back 500 years and undo all of history.
No,
Likely.
worry about that. I just worry about, like, what if we just, like, end everything?
Or end us. I can't really
Exactly.
die.
I'm more concerned about the fact that everything here just seems to splinter off into a bajillion different pathways to an infinity. So I hope we all don't turn into dust, is all I'm saying.
Considering the options currently available, that actually seems like a relatively light way to go.
I thought you were a clay.
I don't know how to put this, but we are currently on what is possibly the universe's largest cadaver. This is what I was born to do, is put this thing fucking down. Let's end this shit. Thank you. Wow, I said a lot of words.
I'm hearing a curse word. That's the first time I've heard you use such.
Me too. This place is getting to me.
I think it's getting to all of us. I don't think it would destroy us. If things go wrong, it might take things a little strange.
Artie will protect us. Don't worry.
I guess that's reassuring. He's been killed several times and not die.
Why can't I die?
All right.
Taken.
Get this thing out.
Leave my body.
All right, sure. Let's try to get a super fast rest with science.
Here, right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now.
I swear to God, Essek, if you fuck this up.
Well, you wouldn't really be around to do anything after that.
No,
Nope. But it just, my essence will haunt you.
True enough.
Guidance.
And I would deserve it, like I deserve all the things that haunt me.
Oh, Essek.
Don't
killer.
offer me any solace.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a horrible person.
And now that we've established it, let's help save the world.
Very quickly, I get down on the ground and I take off. I don't take it off. I hold the residuum shot in one hand, and I hold it together with the medallion that I'm wearing, and I'm going to cast Fabricate and slowly melt the residuum around the necklace.
Okay, interesting.
What we'll
Okay.
do.
Okay, let's do this wildly foolish risk.
As you all begin to gather up, he pulls out what looks like a piece of dark chalk and finds a section of the floor where he begins to draw different dunamantic symbols in this patterned array, making you progressively more and more uncomfortable as the designs begin to come together. And some of them are a little more intricate for even your understanding, but you begin to pick up the basics of it, kind of using this stone as a focus. But as you all kind of gather around, he sits and places the stone in the middle of it, and then sits on one side of it and kind of gestures for you to get on the opposite end.
Beauregard, you know, if you can't sprinkle, there are 9 of us.
Sprinkle.
We are the Nonagon.
TWK, incoming. Total world kill.
Now, it's going to take a roll from you and Essek, and you get to add 5 to that roll because that is the spell level spent on it.
I grab just as it.
Rockin'.
Come on.
I'm going to roll it out front.
Rockin'. Did very well.
Natural 20. Plus 2. Plus 8, so that's a 30 from Essek.
Oh my
Dirty
God.
24.
There's that brief moment where you see Essek, sweat beginning to form on his forehead as he's concentrating, and as you're kind of focusing your spell energy towards this crystal, you see it begin to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. Essek twitches his arms around it and then draws his fingers in 2 different directions, and you see this kind of small tear in reality, a break in reality, if you will. He begins to take and fold that tear around, almost like if the tear in space-time became a thread, and wrap it around this stone. And as soon as it begins to close on it, it shatters. For a brief moment, there is nothing. Absence. Darkness. Then there's this rush of wind. Directionless, but a force, a pulling. And then your lungs hurt. And you exhale. And as you do, your vision comes back from darkness. It's like you've been holding your breath forever. And you all begin to kind of cough a little bit, just instinctually from the period that you were undetermined time. And as you breathe in after the cough, your first, full breath, you feel refreshed. And you kind of look around and you feel like you had the best night's sleep of your life.
Say it. Say it.
Yeah, you get a long rest.
I need this technology in my real life.
Lucian is standing outside, isn't he?
Everything seems normal at the moment, though there is a strange residual effect of this. As you see the shattered gem on the ground, you all gather, and as everyone has this conversation, check in, everyone feel all right? It's just like a weird echo, and for a moment, you see Veth kind of, talking, and then her words go backwards for a moment, and then go forward again. I would not worry, that is just a residual echo of the alteration of time when it's unfocused as this was, so it should wear off in just a moment. The fact that we're here means that it succeeded.
What's that smell?
It sucked back in. Oh my god.
So dumb.
Just a residual.
How does it apply to farts?
But actually, before I do that, just because it's quicker, 2 minutes ago or 10 hours ago or whatever just happened ago, Caleb pulls out he's got the medallion out from under his shirt that's got now covered in residuum, and he just starts muttering for a full 30 seconds under his breath and touches it to his forehead, and I cast at 8th level Mind Blank, which means no fuckery with my mind for the next 24 hours.
The vial, you identify, it worked and acted as Kree's holy symbol and the focus for her spell casting. It does contain the blood of the Nonagon. What could possibly go wrong?
If only we knew how to use that at our advantage.
A little Clamato juice, some vodka, celery stick.
I am gonna go find a quiet corner. I'm gonna get in a very meditative monk headspace.
Okay.
And
Never get used to that.
I'm going to attempt to imagine myself hearing the waves of the Nicodranus coastline and meditate on that feeling and meditate on my breath and see if I can connect to the Cognosa and find Yusa. Okay.
So you listen and you concentrate on the sound of the waves. And as you time your breath with that, bow as a concept disseminates, and you feel that tickle at each location where the eyes are. And for a moment, you are connected loosely to thousands of broken minds. You concentrate on Yusa. And you feel a familiar force. And you follow it. And in that brief moment, that connection to this grid of consciousness instead becomes a singular spark, like you're being pulled along an electric line, until suddenly you're on the surface. And amongst the varying hollow bodies walking the streets, going through the motions, you see one of darker skin and light hair and elvish complexion, wandering aimless amongst them.
Yusa, it's the Mighty Nein. We're here.
You sense Yusa's attention turn, and in that moment, you sense something bright and red coming from elsewhere.
I cut. I think I was noticed.
What do you mean you were noticed?
It's hard to describe because it's so amorphous, but like a burning red sensation, like another eye.
As she's
like a force.
speaking, the wall behind her, you watch as the stone begins to bulge.
Oh, maybe we should go.
And the color turns a deep crimson.
We go.
I think it knows where we are.
Move.
Move.
We run.
Move.
We run.
Move.
A bright red light begins to push from one of the walls as you pass.
Oh, like that. It looked exactly like that.
Keep going.
Okay.
Which way? Where?
We're just running through the tunnel back.
Are we going to the help
Back
tunnel?
to the intersection.
And as you're reaching the point of the mid area, you see from the floor, bubbling up, that same kind of bright red light, that spherical light, the same light that you saw push through some of the people of this town, begin to push from beneath the skin-like ground as you run past, you arc around it.
I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on the orb.
And as you rush to the intersection and grab the rails to begin climbing, you just hear a voice kind of peek through all of your minds. It says, "Wait, where are you going?"
It's a somnovum.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
You arrive by sheer force of love and family, protecting those that bring you joy and meaning. That is true purpose. Through these bonds eternal, everything has meaning. We seek to bond everything in love and to become one as we are. Absolute, eternal love, without boundaries.
What is your name?
I am Gordius. I just want to bring this love to everyone. I want us to all come together. But Fastadan and Kolpasi, they reject the embrace. They are driven from unity through disgust, arrogance, and deeply misplaced shame. Who wants to make the persuasion check that you're all on the up and up with this?
I do.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
How do you present this case that you are indeed listening to this individual that is like awaiting a deep confirmation that you're allied?
We will find Fastadan and Kolpasi and make sure that they are separated via the ether crux as you wish.
I'm gonna try to give him advantage, and I'm gonna go up and hug my arms around his waist and go, "All we care about in this world is love and unity."
All
And I
right.
kiss him.
Are you taking that as a persuasion or deception?
Leaned away from me.
No, he
Meaning,
didn't.
do you intend to follow through on this
No,
deal?
it's a deception.
Make a deception roll.
You just kiss his shoulder.
Chewing in his jawline.
24
24.
plus 10 on my deception.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as you finish your statement and your display of affection, the eye begins to withdraw. Then go
Awkward
quickly.
promos.
I sense that once their search is done and they find the Nonagon, we'll be called together once more. And when our minds are one, we cannot speak like this. And the eye vanishes into the floor. There is a good chance, you imagine, that upon just destroying or, absolving the connection of this place, that, yeah, Yusa may be set free in return. Or could be destroyed along with it.
The only choice that we've ever consistently made is to take care of our friends.
So we go help him.
Yeah.
Let's go.
As you all emerge from the trap tunnel back to the surface streets, you can see once more the aimless bodies of the denizens wandering, directionless, going through the motions of their previous lives, these stilted echoes of who they once were. And you all begin to will yourselves upward, flying back above the city line itself, heading in the direction of Beauregard's guidance. But as you touch down in that area, you all can see, just around the edge of the corner, a figure. White silver short hair, darker skin, flowing golden robes, just walking away.
I'm going to pick up my pace and catch up to him.
Yes.
Okay.
When you go up to him, Caleb, just go. You'll blend in, right?
You approach, and as you get closer, you can see his features are blurred. This is not a full corporeal form. This is a somewhat spectral-looking image of Yusa.
Yusa. It's me. It's Caleb.
He's been facing away from you and turns around, and where the face would be, you just see this open, vacuous hole.
Ooh.
This dark space. It just looks back at you.
Can you hear me? Can you speak?
There's no voice.
I think towards his form and say, raise your hand if you understand me.
There is no response.
I reach my hands into his form, and I banish him back to the material plane.
As your hands alight with energy, there is a sudden burst of life and movement from Yusa's somewhat spectral form. And in that movement, there is a facade of that faceless image that is kind of left behind like a ghosted shadow as Yusa's spirit is pushed out of it briefly. And you can see the face of Yusa looking back at you through it into a smile and just says, "Thank you." And you watch as the spirit is lifted on the tether like a parachute cord and dragged away.
I've always been fairly
Names
other.
did you guys write down of the Some Novum so far?
1, 2,
7 or 8?
4,
I have 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Timore, Alactus, Luctus, Ira,
Ira,
Miramis, Guardius, Fastadan, and Cole Pussy.
That's what I wrote you.
I just thought it. I didn't actually write it down and say it out loud.
So I gather up, and first I project the image that I saw of the Aether Crux into Caleb's mind. Help me share it to them.
Like little candles.
Yeah, poof, poof. And I share the image to Caduceus and Ford and Yasha. Spread it out. Imagine we're there.
You concentrate and focus on the image and the sensation of the Aether Crux, the location. And you all hear a strange sound. The floor of the room next to you begins to curl open.
Oh,
and a tunnel begins to reveal itself downward, willed into existence.
Okay, I love this place.
That's really cool.
It looks mostly smooth, but the texture is somewhat striated in places. It is like a
sphincter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are in the colon.
Into, yeah.
First time.
Like this is
You're
very,
right, it is not the
we're
first
talking-
time.
Let's hope
Do I
this
have
leads
kind of
to
residual
where we want to go. Let's do it.
BGBs
I hopped
from
down into the
something
tunnel.
opening?
Okay.
There's like a faint tickle.
Oh, got another one.
I will spend a minute looking around.
I'm close
right-
to his ankles.
right
Is
over
there
the
one
heart.
on his ankle?
Right over the heart.
Right over your heart.
Fourth eye.
Shit, Caleb. Shit.
DM, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You said that the eyes lit up on Kree before she transformed into that thing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did you say how many eyes lit up?
5.
5.
5.
So I'm one shy of a flesh monster.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's true.
What I thought.
Boy, man.
Who knows if 5 was the limit?
Passing beyond this kind of nightmare patchwork of architectural memory, continuing on the lake, it's brighter and brighter, this pulsing red light. The tunnel begins to give way into a massive chamber. In the middle of it, you see this column. And within this column is this, for lack of a better term, a bulbous collection of massive, faintly glowing, pulsating orbs, all mashed like a nest. And you see no sign of the Nonagon. What you do see, different fluctuating points of red light kind of heading down these tendrils to the center, and these orbs begin to alight as they do. Quick to gather that these are likely the various Somnovum returning to greet whoever has stepped into the central chamber. A voice immediately fills your minds.
We are the Somnovum. We are consciousness, evolved through high emergence. We are just the spark. It would be meaningless to hoard our understanding. It is the right of every living being to know our joy.
Aren't you missing one?
Yes. Our harbinger, the Nanagon. We sense your connection. Would you bring him to us? He is beyond our sight. He is to bring the key and open the door.
And if he does not?
The colors royal and flash. Then we will find another way. All that you've ever dreamed will be yours.
We will do this for you. We will bring the Nonagon to his close.
Just be careful, because he was talking about ultimate power, and I don't know, maybe he's hiding because he wants more than what you offered.
Echoing from elsewhere in the chamber. Well, I'm glad you came. The invitation was there. And you've all proven exactly as useful as I hoped. And on the opposite side of where you're standing, near one of the other aortic tunnels that ventures past there, you see Lucy standing next to an empty sack and a cluster of 9 or 10 glowing into charges. All pooled into one pulsing pile. The Samnavan voice begins to echo through all of your minds like a storm of lightning.
Stop him.
Stop him. And Lucien goes, enough of that! You all know very well what this is. I'm glad we've all synchronized our schedules through all this chaos. It's perfect. These people, the city, tragic in its fall, yes, but glorious in its discoveries. When children have been acting out, well, making a mess of their potential, for this long even, a responsible caretaker must show discipline, enact punishment, and take the reins with force. So, I invite you to stay for the show, but I think you'd prefer to run. And he leans back and puts his hand on the devices as they begin to blink faster and faster.
I'm gonna say run, and I'm gonna cast Earthquake right under him.
You all begin to run. Everyone else following suit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Running back to the tunnel where you came from. The ground beginning to crack, the elements that are stone and the parts that are flesh begin to shake and roil. You watch as the tethers above that attach to this central part, the aether crux itself, begin to like cables being snapped. Parts are beginning to fall. Elements of the ceiling begin to crash down like it's trying to physically attack with the full flesh of Cognosa itself upon Lucien, who begins laughing and laughing. Just as you all run and run and run. A series of flashes behind you. And you feel, especially you who's connected to the city,
You feel the flex, and the scream, and the tensing of the entirety of Cognosa at once. As its nerve center, the somnovum that brought it together, are bombarded. And as you all fall to the ground, breathing deeply in the ensuing silence, there's just quiet. No laughter. No sound. Just the 8 of you.
I did it! I hacked it with the power of love!
Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, because I'm the only man you've ever loved, right?